I've been waiting to get home and to finally make this video. I was at the dog park with my dog, and the announcement started going live on Instagram. I tuned in for Dana White's announcement, and holy smokes, he has rocked the world of UFC fandom, of MMA fandom, with these major announcements. And I'm going to start in order in terms of what I deem to be the biggest announcement of all of them. I just listened to Ariel Helwani's show, or his live stream, emergency live stream, about these announcements. And he says the three most anticipated fights of the year in this order are John Jones versus Tom Aspinall. Number two would be Ilia versus Islam. I adamantly disagree with both. I made a video earlier, like, yes, of course, I'm going to be excited if they finally do get John Jones versus Tom Aspinall done, but it's been dragged out to an extent and to a point where I'm not that excited about it. I think that that's colored by his relationship with Tom Aspinall. I do not want to see Ilia versus Islam. How is that the most anticipated fight? I'd much rather see Islam move up and fight JDM. So I vehemently disagree on both accounts. Those are nowhere nowhere close to the number one anticipated fight of the year. The number one most anticipated fight of the year, in my opinion, obviously this is a bit subjective, is DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev. And it has finally been announced. And I said when it wasn't happening in International Fight Week, as long as if we do truly get it within a few months or within the summer, even by September, I would have been thrilled. Even better, it's in August. Even better, it's in the US. And even better, it's in Chicago, where I used to live. That's where I went to law school. I love Chicago. I don't even know. I might try and go because I am freaking out right now. This is unbelievable. These fights that are so anticipated that you think are too good to be true, especially being a Khamzat fan for so long and a new DDP fan as well, but being a Khamzat fan since his debut in the UFC. And sorry if I'm all hyped up and talking crazy, but I am so excited. I've been waiting for this fight announcement for so long, and it's finally happened. And you start to lose belief. You start to lose hope. Now Khamzat, everything has been cleared up, but then DDP has these issues potentially, and it keeps getting pushed back. Anyways, we are now here, and the fight has been announced. And anybody who's saying this is not the most anticipated fight of the year or of whatever, I don't know where Ariel is getting this, and it bothers me. But I don't want to make this into a negative thing. Let's make this into a positive moment, a moment of celebration, of jubilation for all UFC fans, especially those who are massive fans of Khamzat Chimaev. I think he's got like 10 million followers on Instagram. And also massive fans of DDP, undefeated in the UFC. Khamzat Chimaev, undefeated overall. The two titans will clash, and we shall finally see who is the victor. We shall finally see if all this hype, all this buildup, all this enthusiasm for Khamzat Chimaev is legitimate, because we have a tremendous opponent, a tremendous challenge for Khamzat Chimaev to face. And how amazing is it that it all culminates in the U.S., in Chicago, in the Midwest, on U.S. soil, where so many people have been saying for so long, oh, Khamzat can't get into the U.S., so he can't be a champion. False. Khamzat is not fighting frequently enough. Well, now he's fighting pretty frequently. I think he wanted to fight in June, but that got pushed back, not because of him, but because of DDP side. So false. We are proving everybody wrong, and Khamzat is going to fight. He's going to fight in Chicago. I believe he's going to get the job done. No, and this is, again, me saying that I'm a fan of DDP, and I think he's a tremendous challenge, but he's still going to get the job done. He's going to vindicate himself. He's going to vindicate also of us fans who said Khamzat Chimaev will be the greatest fighter in the history of the UFC. Now is the time. We are only 3 months away and change. Let's go. I'm so happy right now to talk about this, and I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments. Are you guys equally as excited, as hyped as me? I am freaking out. This is the number one announcement. Now we have the next big announcement, also a massive announcement that I want to touch on. We finally get International Fight Week, June 28th, announced the main event. We have Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight title. Now, we all knew this was happening. So this isn't even DDP versus Khamzat. We knew it was happening. We just didn't know when. So August, I'm so thrilled with that date. But there is something important about this. And the importance is that the UFC is sticking by its guns in terms of the hearsay that we heard from Diego Lopez not too long ago, that the UFC is no longer going to really encourage or tolerate double champs. I, for one, love this because I don't see the point. To me, while you're in the welterweight division, as Islam is going up into the welterweight division, he's not a lightweight fighter for that time being. So why continue to hold the belt? Vacate it, and if you want it back, you can go back and challenge for it, as opposed to having it and retaining the title. To me, that is a much more logical approach. Moreover, it keeps the divisions more fluid, more active. Instead, you have to wait potentially. If somebody's taking 2 fights a year, now you have to wait a full year for them to come back and defend again. It just doesn't make any sense. Instead, do it this way. If you really want to go back and reclaim that title, do it. But to me, this is all around better because now what I hope is that Islam is going to go up. He's going to beat JDM and he's going to stay at welterweight. The challenges at welterweight are more interesting to me than him going back down to lightweight fighting Ilia. Again, I don't get how Ilia versus Islam is one of the most and more anticipated than Khamzat versus DDP. To me, Islam versus JDM is more exciting to me than him fighting Ilia. Islam versus Leon Edwards taking on these bigger guys, seeing what he can do at a heavier weight class. That's much more interesting to me than any of the challenges he still has left at lightweight. So this is phenomenal. And man, Charles Oliveira is such a fan favorite. Ilia Topuria on a crazy run. Let's see what goes down. And if I had to give my prediction right now, you already know my prediction for DDP versus Khamzat. Khamzat all the way. Let's go. If I had to give my prediction for Ilia versus Oliveira, call it controversial, call me crazy. Maybe a lot of people will disagree. I'm picking Oliveira. I'm taking Oliveira. I really am. We don't know how this is going to go down, but he's going to be at a big height disadvantage, I don't know the exact stats on the reach disadvantage. I think it's going to be a different beast. I think it's going to be a different animal. And Oliveira's Oliveira, dude. Oliveira's a beast. He's a legend. He's proven his abilities time and again. I think Oliveira is going to reclaim that strap, and it's going to be incredible either way. What a fun fight. What an incredible fight. I'm so happy that it's for the undisputed title. I'm tired of interim championships. It's like you're halfway there, but you're not fully there. And it just feels unsatisfying as a fan for me. It's the same way that a close decision feels unsatisfying. When it can go either way, there's no concrete answer like a knockout or a submission or a dominant decision. I am thrilled. These two announcements are phenomenal. And yeah, man, I don't know. I know people are always upset at Dana White, upset at the UFC, but I think this is a moment where we could just sit back and be happy and enjoy the moment because this is such great news. We had a couple other fights that have been announced as well. We have the co-main for UFC 317, Kai Kara France versus Pantoja. Yes, dope fight. I think we had another announcement. Let me double check. I think they announced Strickland versus Adesanya. Give me 1 second. Let me just look that up super quick. Strickland versus Adesanya. When is this one happening? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no. What am I saying? It is announced. Let me see here. Or maybe it wasn't announced. What am I crazy? Sorry. I'm just jumping on this immediately. Maybe that fight wasn't announced. They announced some other fights, and I'm blanking on the other ones. I think Paulo Costa's coming back. Oh, they announced Tracy Cortez is coming back. Anyways, I might have the Strickland versus Adesanya rematch being announced incorrect, and maybe that wasn't announced yet. I think Dana White said something reiterating about John Jones and Aspinall, indicating that the fight is done. Tom Aspinall said yesterday they're going to get a final answer. Don't quote me on that. I'm kind of going off the cuff here of what I briefly remember from the Instagram Live, but I digress. It doesn't matter whether that's happening or not. This is a day of celebration. This is a moment of excitement, I think, universally, globally for UFC fans. But again, once again, I go back to this major number one announcement that I already covered, the biggest announcement to me in the history of the UFC. I know that sounds a bit like crazy, but to me, this is something that I've been so excited for. I know you other Khamzat fans are equally as excited. Let's go. Let's see what happens. You want to say that I'm delusional about my belief in Khamzat Chimaev? Well, now we're going to find out. Now everything will be answered. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. We shall see. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you guys equally excited as I am? Leave a comment below. Leave a like if you like the video. And I hope you subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Let's go.